Live, everybody. Very excited about it. Tonight, we have the QR code. I did do a little bit of homework. We have the QR code if you want to join the Sideline Fans Fantasy team. We do have the QR code for you to join. Hopefully that works. Let me know if it's not. All right. Who has fantasy questions going into week 15? All right. If you're not already in the playoffs, you're about to go into the playoffs. So that's pretty cool. All right. Beto's here. What's up, Beto? How you doing, buddy? All right, Beto. Thank you for the lightning bolts. I appreciate it as always. Ian Fuentes asks, pick two, McConkey or Addison at flex, or Purdy or Darnold? Well, let's see who let's look this up. That's assuming that McConkey's actually going to be able to play, right? Gosh darn it, he wasn't able to play. Right, let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Where are we at? McConkey. McConkey over, and we have Garrett Wilson, Malik Neighbors. Addison, who had a big game last weekend. What did he get? 35 points or something ridiculous like that. Yeah, it's all things point to Jordan Addison because they're playing Atlanta. Jordan Addison, yeah, I think McConkey. Oh, wait a second, is this the right week? Hold on. No, this is Major League Baseball schedule. Week 15. Yeah. That's got the old. Hold on, where are we at? This is not right. Yeah, the Chargers play Tampa Bay. It's actually Ladd has it. It was based on last week's schedule. Ladd McConkey. Go with Ladd McConkey. That's what. Hey, Eli hits bombs is here. Yeah, go with Ladd McConkey based on the fact that they play Tampa Bay. He should have a good game. All right, let's see what else everybody else has. Let me pull out just a quick reset, everybody. Hey, Eitan made the playoffs, which you knew you made the playoffs, buddy. You have the best team in the league, dude. All right. But congratulations, Eitan. Way to go, buddy. All right. So that was McConkey versus Addison. Pick two, Garrett Wilson, Malik Neighbors, and Juwan Jennings. Wow. Dare I say, actually, Garrett Wilson? Nobody has buys anymore. That's kind of nice, isn't it? Don't have to worry about scrambling. They play Jacksonville, so I go Garrett, and Juwan Jennings is the only one putting up points from the wide receiver core, significant points, and they go against they play Thursday against the Rams, and we all know that you can pass against the Lambs. Let me just make sure that this is still 100% true. Last 4 weeks. Come on. That's what I want. Why is my computer slowing down? Sorry about this, guys. We'll jump to it in just a second. The Bengals moved up, believe it or not. They were last. Now it is the Falcons in last place. But the Rams are right in the middle. 23.7 points. Yeah, I'd go Juwan Jennings and Garrett Wilson on that one, Tyler. All right, Gavin, pick two, Shakir Reed or Adunzi. God. Okay, Gavin, here's my problem, guys, with Jayden Reed. He had 0 points last Thursday. So please tell me in the chat how I can endorse Jayden Reed. I can't anymore. Okay. I was actually before that game. I actually said, hey, Jayden Reed isn't a bad bet. He's put up some points, just like I did with Westbrook Ikine before the game this weekend, saying, oh, yeah, he's had really good games. Oh, you should play him. Okay, I can't do that anymore. So I'm definitely going Shakir. He did have a touchdown last weekend. Hold on one second. I got a bunch of stuff open here and it's kind of killing me. So I'm going to close it so I can get to it later. Oh, shoot. Oh, well, no big deal. All right. So let's go Shakir. Let's just look up what Shakir's been doing. And then Adunze. What did he do last week when everybody was not up to snuff? He had 18 points. Okay. Against San Fran. They play Minnesota, Detroit. Minnesota and Detroit, he only had 6.5 and 3.5 points. His counterpoint, his counterpoints? No, counterparts. Duh. Keenan Allen and DJ Moore had much better scores or points against Minnesota and Detroit, but he had 18 against San Francisco. I'm still going Adunze and Shakir. I have a hard time telling anybody to start Reed. So that's who I'm going with as of right now, those two. All right, let's keep going. I got a lot to go through here. Lost a few people. Vikings or Chargers defense. Let's just look that up real quick. I'm going Minnesota because they play Chicago. I guess the thought there is Chicago isn't as prolific maybe as Tampa Bay would be against the Chargers. So go with Minnesota on that one. That's the safe bet here. All right, Justin Tucker, Chase McLaughlin. All right, those are names that I don't get a ton. Let's just go through that. We're just trying to get through it. Justin Tucker. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. All right, please go ahead and share this live. I'd really be really helpful. I would go Chase McLaughlin playing the Chargers. You figure he'll have to kick a few field goals and such. New York Giants might not even get to field goal range, so it might be one way or the other. Please go ahead and hit that like button on any of the channels. Nathaniel's here. It's good that we have the QR code up. Yeah, so you guys can sign up for the B-Ball. The QR code in on the screens, on both screens, on YouTube, and well, if you're on Twitch and definitely if you're on TikTok, QR code gets you to sign up for the Sideline Fans fantasy basketball. Yes, I know basketball's been going on, but as we kind of wind down the season here in about 2 weeks, we'll be ramping up the basketball season. And so why don't you guys just sign up? We can talk a little trash. 12 teams are the max, though. So, all right. Nix or Murray? Bo Nix or Kyler Murray? Let's look it up. Bo Nix, Kyler Murray. I'm going Bo Nix on that one. He goes up against Indianapolis. It's a pretty safe one there with Bo Nix. He's been putting up some good numbers. He had the bye, so he should be rested and ready to go. Henry or Steelers tight end? You mean Freiermuth, Nathan? Well, let's look up Freiermuth, or we're looking at Hunter Henry, right? Hunter Henry or Freiermuth. Oh, that's not it. Yep. So yeah, I go Freiermuth. He goes up against Philadelphia, but he's been putting up some decent points all year. Henry goes up against Arizona, but Freiermuth has been used in the offense just a little bit more. So I'd go Freiermuth all day on that one. All right, Jonathan Taylor or David Montgomery. Right away, I'm thinking Montgomery. He's been putting up much better numbers all season, but let's just look up Jonathan Taylor comparative. Yep, David Montgomery. Start 3. Let's see. Do I start Reed, Debo, D. Smith, Shakir, or BTJ? Oh, Riley. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, yeah. You might have to send me a gift on that one. Looking up 5 is a little much. Start 3. Adams, Jefferson. Seriously? Jefferson, McLaurin, and Nico Collins. Come on, guys. Come on. Adams. No. Jefferson gets you 13 points almost every week. McLaurin had a bye. He's going to be coming fresh and ready to go. And Collins is as steady as they come now that he's back. So they go up against Miami. Miami is, has a good defense or a decent defense, but you can't go against their 11th now. They dropped back, but you can't go against Nico Collins. I mean, it's debatable on McLaurin. I kind of call him just maybe under the best. I want to get this thing right, but it's right in the sun. Or not in the sun, in the lights. It's the only way that might work. That way I'm not always off screen. I'm looking at, you got to go Jefferson, you got to go Collins, and you got to go McLaurin on that one. Here we go. Logan asks, Kmet, Tua, or Olave for flex? Well, let's look up Derek Carr. I heard something earlier. I was sort of in the middle of something else, listening to just fantasy talk, and I swear they were talking about, Olave coming back, and then they were talking about David Carr. Is something wrong with Carr? I looked and didn't see anything. Let me just double check this. Derek Carr. I said David Carr. Duh. Yeah, Derek Carr's questionable. Saints interim head coach Jeremy said Monday that Carr is considered week to week due to his hand fracture and is not expected to be placed on IR. Okay, so Derek Carr may not be playing this weekend, which I think changes everything for Olave. And I don't know why you wouldn't go with Tua on a super flex. I mean, Tua's going to crush Kmet. He's probably going to crush Olave with no Derek Carr. So you got to go Tua in that situation. All right. Let's do it. Hey, Jose's here. London, Mike Evans or DJ Moore? Well, the safe bet is Mike Evans. DJ Moore did not do much last week, but they're playing teams that he did have good scores against, Jose. And London, who got me in all kinds of trouble, last Thursday night or last Friday night when I made a list, only had 9 points last week. DJ Moore, only 9 points, or he had 7 points rather. Let me look up Evans, and I know what London did. London has not been putting up double digits very often over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Now, Mike Evans only had 5 targets for 4 against Vegas. Wow. They play the Chargers. You know what? There's one way for me to figure this one out, and I'm going to do it right now. I'll tell you in a second there. London, they're kind of all 3 of these players are having a little tough go of it the last few weeks. I mean, yeah, I'd still go Mike Evans, though. I'd go Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans still tops it. But they're all sort of in the same ballpark, kind of, because they've all been a little inconsistent. They've had good weeks, and then they've had kind of miserable weeks. So, hey, Luke, J081. Let me write that down. I'll look you up. Thank you for the gift, Luke. I appreciate it. I know you've been here before. But yes, Jose, go with Mike Evans. And I don't believe he's injured or has any injury problems. Shakir or Garrett? Ooh, good question. Let's look it up. Shakir or Garrett? Yeah, I'm going Garrett Wilson. I think it's a great matchup for him. Sorry, this one pen cap it doesn't stay on the pen ever. Garrett Wilson has a great matchup against Jacksonville. Shakir against Detroit. That could be tough for them. So I would definitely go with Garrett Wilson. He did have, I think he did, right? He had a decent week finally, right? To the point where I was like, oh, maybe I should pick him up again. I don't know what I'm thinking. 14.9. Yeah, he had a good week against Miami. Jacksonville, hey, given that, he should have another good week going up against Jacksonville. All right, don't forget to hit that like button. We only have 241 likes on TikTok. What's going on, everybody? A quick reset. If you look at that QR code that I have on the screen right now, that's an easy way to join our fantasy, the Sideline Fans Fantasy Basketball League. We're only having 12 teams. The draft is Sunday, but if you don't go to the draft, you can just set your picks and the computer will pick them up. But the draft is Sunday. I want to say that it's, what did I make it? I think I made it 6 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Central time. So it shouldn't interfere. Well, it shouldn't take too long. If it's anything like the football draft, I think it took all of 20 minutes. So it should go by fairly quickly. So thank you, Luke, though, for that. Okay. Somebody with Z's Elver, bro, brushed me over. What's up? Did I miss you, Elver? Well, oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Elver. I'm sorry, buddy. Thank you for saying something again. My moderator's on YouTube. Oh, he's on YouTube. He's not on TikTok tonight. I don't need you on YouTube, buddy. TikTok's where it's at, baby. Except my numbers are. So it's okay. Elver, where's your question though? Z's, I'll get to you, Z's. You're welcome, Jose. Where Z's? Okay. While Elver goes through that, where's Elver's question? I'm not seeing it. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights is here. Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon. Okay, Elver. I see Elver. Okay, hi to Elver. It's telling me to say hi to Elver. Where is Elver's question? Okay, just got no. Elver just donated. Z, okay, Z, I will get to you, and then I'm going to look for Elver. JSN, McConkey, Addison, or Adams? Do I just pick one Z's? Or sleep, or I don't know what you go by. You just have Z's. Okay, Smith. He had a decent game, right? McConkey was out. Mr. Ladd, Addison definitely had a good game. And Adams. All right, everybody. I'm going Davante Adams against Jacksonville. It's all about the matchup. If you're worried about Davante Adams, if you're worried about Aaron Rodgers, JSN would be your number 2. Any of them really aren't bad picks. But you got to go with matchups, I guess, to a certain extent. You have JSN, who goes up against Green Bay. You have McConkey that goes up against Kansas City, which he got 15 points against Kansas City last time. So, and Jordan Addison, who goes up against Chicago, should have a decent day. Let's just see here. Has he played Chicago this year? He played Chicago and got 22 points. So Jordan Addison is not a bad play here. He is not a bad play. He had 22 points. So any of them really are a good play, but based on the matchup with Jacksonville, I would say Davante Adams would be your best bet if you have to pick one. If you have to pick two, you could really look at Davante Adams and JSN. Or I might go Davante Adams and Ladd McConkey because you can score against Kansas City. But any one of them, any two of them is probably a good play this week based on what they've done against these teams in the past. Like in the case of Jordan Addison, and Davante Adams has a great matchup as a whole. So thank you on that one, Z's. Appreciate it. Elver, bro, brush me over. Elver, I'm looking for you. I'm still not seeing your question. You're welcome, Z's. Thank you for your support. Elver, I'm still not seeing your question, dude. That is so bizarre. Well, it's one of two things. Either I didn't see it, which I think I've seen it. You didn't send it, which I bet you did send it, or somehow was filtered out by TikTok. They do filter things out. I'm seeing where you donated the roses, but I'm not seeing anything else. Kind of stinks. Okay, let's see what else anybody has here. Dylan asks, start 3, Nico Collins, Cortland Sutton, Garrett Wilson, Jauan Jennings. I mean, it's not that Nico Collins is your big star right there. I'll look up all 4 of them real quick and tell you where to go, but I'm choosing 3 to start. I'm really leaning towards Nico, Cortland, and Jennings. But I can't spell, so that's going to take up some time. So Nico Collins, Sutton. Sutton's been putting up some pretty solid numbers week after week. So you can't. Yeah. Nico Collins, Cortland Sutton, and let's look at Jennings. Yeah, see, I would go Nico Collins, Cortland Sutton. They've been putting up good points week after week after week. And I'm leaning towards Jauan Jennings over Garrett Wilson. They go up against the Rams, and the Rams, as I said earlier, you guys may not even, they're 18th against wide receivers. They give up 23.7, and we know that Jennings has been getting the bulk of those targets. So if I have to pick 3, I'm going Nico, Sutton, and Jennings. Thank you, Dylan, for that, though. All right. Hey, Drays is here, everybody. My man, Drays. Garrett Wilson or Amon-Ra? Man, isn't it weird to think that you're actually questioning Amon-Ra? But he did have a down week. There's no doubt about that. But you can't go against Amon-Ra. Yeah, I go Amon-Ra. Even though they're playing Buffalo, I think Amon-Ra still gets the target. I mean, yes, he did have a down week. There's no getting past that. But I mean, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Ooh, let's see. He's had some. Well, let's see here. 6.2, 7.3, 5.3 points the last 3 weeks, huh? Okay. I thought it was just 1 or 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. Well, I got to tell you, I would maybe go Garrett Wilson because he does go up against Jacksonville, and he actually had a good week last week. Yeah, I'd go Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I would go Garrett Wilson, but I don't like their offense, though. Like, I kind of see it as a risk play either way because St. Brown has not. Let me just look up. I'm looking under one thing. Okay, that's Wilson. Wilson had 14.9 points. What did St. Brown have? Oh, you're not gonna come up, huh? All right, everybody, we're gonna get to it here. I know I'm taking a while. Oh, please. Jeez. Yeah, he's had 7.99. Goes up against Buffalo. I mean, one way to look at this is he goes up against Buffalo, Chicago, San Francisco. Chicago last time he had 9 points. I mean, this is a tough call because I guess if you go in on a matchup only, you go with Garrett Wilson. He got 14.9 against Miami. He goes against lowly Jacksonville. He should have a good number of points this weekend against Jacksonville, given that, okay? Amon-Ra has, let's just see what they say here. Yeah, they think, I would almost say that the safe pick is Garrett Wilson, and wow, 3 weeks in a row under 10 points. I guess in some ways the safe pick is Amon-Ra. He'll get you about 10 points. If you want to roll the dice a little bit and play Garrett Wilson, you can, because he could get you 5 points, he could get you 15 points. That's kind of what he's done over the last 5 weeks. So that's one way to look at it, that Garrett Wilson could be a touch riskier than Amon-Ra, but Amon-Ra gets you at least 10 points, if not better. God. Yeah, so Dre's, it's kind of, pick your poison. Which one do you feel most or least comfortable with? All right, everybody, let me do a quick reset. I go live almost every single day. So hit that follow button. Please hit that follow button. Keep hitting those likes. We're not even at 1,000 likes yet. We're at 489. I need more likes, please. Come on. Those are free. All you have to do is hit the button. Hit that follow, though. Timmy Turner, thank you for sharing. Timmy Turner, do I drop Debo for Jennings? Pick 2, Bucky, Rashad, Aaron Jones, Chuba, or Garendo. Okay. I think you do drop Debo for Jennings. Bucky, from what I've read today, is probably not going to play. Hold on a second. No. Bucky, I don't know about. Garendo is the one that probably won't play because he has to play Thursday, and they're saying that he has a foot sprain and he probably won't be able to play. Now, Chuba is clearly the number one. I believe, let me just double check here, that Brooks was Brooks put back on the IR? Jonathan Brooks? Yeah, Jonathan Brooks is back on IR, which is like a 4-week stint. So he's out. So okay, pick 2. So I'm saying Chuba, and I would go either Bucky or Rashad. If Bucky can't go with Rashad. Garendo's going to be out. I would drop Debo for okay. I'm just repeating myself. Let me just go through it, Timmy. I'm sorry. Drop Debo for Jennings. I think that's a good idea. Bucky or Rashad. If Bucky can't go, play Rashad and then play Chuba. Aaron Jones, who's he up against? I never can remember these things. They play Chicago against the run. Let's see. Chicago's not very good against the run. What's Aaron Jones been doing, though? I know he was not having great weeks. Hold on. See, this is what I do. I get bogged down in my head because all of a sudden I'm trying to think like you guys. He had 15 points. Okay, so it's like every other week with this dude. Against Chicago, he had 18 points last game. Okay, so I'm going to amend what I just said. I'm going to say that go with Aaron. Hold on. Go with Aaron Jones because he had 18 and Chicago's bad against the run. Why can't I find the Panthers played Dallas. Dallas is not very good against the run. They give up 19. I would almost say you could go Chuba or Aaron Jones easy. Now, what you might be throwing back at me is, Bucky and Rashad can put up more points than them, although Chuba's had some good games, and I think Aaron Jones should have a good game. So I think if you start one of the Tampa Bay guys or Aaron Jones and Chuba, you're fine. But you said pick 2. If I had to make a final decision on this one, I would go Aaron Jones and Chuba as of right now, based on the matchups and based on specifically what Aaron Jones did last time against Chicago and the fact that they're so bad against the run. All right. Let's see. That was Timmy Turner. I have a question, and I hopefully have an answer. Flex, Donald Cook, A.J. Brown. I would not do A.J. Brown. He's not been putting up some points. So it really comes down to James Cook or Rico Dowdle. Now, Dowdle plays Carolina, right? That's what I just looked up. That's what I remember. I mean, I'm telling you, my memory is, Carolina. Okay. So let's just do a Dowdle Cook comparison. Yeah, I'm going James Cook. They go up against Detroit, but Cook's been putting up some really good points. He's been doing really well. And I know that He's had, well, he had 3.9 against the Rams, huh? 18, 17, 15, 9.4. Okay. Well, based on his low number of points and targets, Josh Allen did everything in that game. Okay. And they played Detroit. Dottle plays the Panthers. Let's just look up Detroit, the Lions, and the Panthers. The Lions are number one against the run. And that's not good for Cook. Why can't I? Yeah, that's not good for Cook. So I'm going to amend that and say go with Dottle because Cook has such a tough matchup and did not perform very outstanding. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. I'd go Dottle. He'd be a safe pick going up against the Panthers. The Panthers against the run are 25th as opposed to Detroit, which is number one. So Jonnu Smith or Mark Andrews? We have a little tight end question here. Jonnu goes up against Houston. Houston is 24th. Andrews and the Baltimore Ravens go up against the Giants. The Giants are 18th. And Houston, as I said, Houston's 24th. So a little bit better matchup for Jonnu. So I would go with Jonnu. And he's been doing well. I know that he didn't get any points until the very end of that game, until what was it? Overtime. But he did get his points. And that's all that really matters at this point for Jonnu, or people that have Jonnu on their team. All right, let's see what else we got. Other questions here. Don't forget to, real quick, a couple of things. There's a QR code up on the screen. That QR code will get you to enter. It's free. And the winner gets a brand new box of golf balls by hey, Elvers, Rhino 305, which are some of the best golf balls for weekend players, juniors, people starting out. They are a 2-piece golf ball, not a 3-piece, so they're not very, very expensive if you have to buy them. They're a 2-piece golf ball, but they go long and they go straight, and they still are very soft around the green. So a very good, solid ball. If you're a scratch player, you probably won't want to play with these. But for everyone who enters the fantasy basketball, which is the QR code on your screen right here, and you can see that on YouTube as well. You can, if you join, the winner gets the free box of Rhino 305. You can buy them at rhino305.com. They're on Amazon. They're on Walmart. You can buy them off the website. They're not very expensive. They're great gifts. Again, they're great for weekend warriors, people who, play on the weekends. They're great for people starting out. They're great for seniors. They're great for kids. Any of that kind of good stuff. These do go long. These do go straight. They've been tested, tried and true by me and my family. I have award-winning, medal-winning, I guess I should say, golfers in my family, and I'm also a certified Titleist golf instructor, so I know just a little bit about this stuff. But that's what the winner gets. It doesn't cost anything. Hit that QR code, join our league, and you'll have a chance to win the golf balls. All right. Would you start Hurts versus Pittsburgh or Winston versus KC? Well, let's look up. Well, let's see. That based on matchups, you know that Winston is going to be able to pass. But Hurts, although people were kind of dogging them this week, he still had a pretty good year. Yeah, I got to go Jalen Hurts. He just has better numbers. You know, I mean, if it's a matchup thing and you're worried about the matchup, you can go Winston, and there's a good chance Winston puts up. Well, let's just see here. Winston's had 17, 35, 14, 26, 13. So he, you know, in a 10-team league, you want to get 19 or over for your quarterback. In the last 4 weeks, he's done it twice, 26 and 35, which is pretty much outstanding. He had against Pittsburgh is when he had his 14 and 17. Kansas City, we know. Let's look up Kansas City versus quarterbacks. That's going to work. Kansas City versus quarterbacks. Where we at, Kansas? Okay, Kansas City gives up 22.5 points on average the last 4 weeks to quarterbacks. 22.5 points to quarterbacks. And you had Hurts. Oh, that's Pittsburgh. That's right. Pittsburgh gives up 21.6. So it's really just a difference of 0.9, which is almost negligible. So I would actually go, because they are closer, I would go with Hurts, because I feel like he's a little bit better. Let me look him up, though. Jalen Hurts. You guys know that I take long with everybody. You know that. Hurts is at 24, 17, 15, 18.7. So you round up to 19. He hasn't had, his last 4 weeks have not been as good as Winston's, believe it or not. But Winston played New Orleans and he played Denver. They're not a horrible team. So he's put up some points. So here's what I would do. I would say Hurts is probably your steady. He gets you right around that 19 to 20. And Winston could be a little bit more of a gamble. He probably gets you somewhere between 15 to 25 points. So if you want a higher ceiling this weekend, I would go with Winston. If you want a safer choice, I would go with Hurts. And that's the way I would leave that one. So, okay. Will Harrison asked Stevenson or Tracy this week. Well, I'm thinking Tracy. Stevenson hasn't really done anything. I could be wrong. But Tracy goes up against Baltimore. Yeah. What? Yeah. Oh, and Stevenson goes up against Arizona. What are those teams against the run? Arizona. Cardinals are 23rd. Ravens are 12th. So Stevenson does have the better matchup. And based on that, you could go with Stevenson. The one thing with Stevenson is he has not been putting up a lot of points. Let me just double check on that. Up until last week, I know he had, and I haven't seen him recently. I know that he gets a lot of his points when he scores a touchdown, though. He had 73 yards against Indy. He had 13 against Miami. He hasn't topped 11 points in 5 weeks when he had 19. I would say Stevenson is your safe choice. He probably keeps you at around 11 points. But Tracy has had good weeks, obviously. So he had 22 against Pittsburgh, 14 against Carolina, 13 against Dallas, 16 against New Orleans, only 7 against. So, you know, I guess Tracy has a higher ceiling. You know, he could probably get you anywhere from 7 to 22, and Stevenson probably gets you right around 11 is my guess. Because when he doesn't score touchdowns, he doesn't have a really high score. He doesn't get over 11. Hey, Dylan Fink is here. Hey, Dylan, how are you? Playoff waiver wire, 1 DST, Washington at New Orleans. Okay. Bass at Detroit, Dickers, Tampa Bay. What are we asking? Washington at New Orleans, Jets at Jacksonville. Okay. What's the question? Falcons at Las Vegas, 1K. Bass at Detroit, Dickers, Tampa Bay, Reichert's versus Chicago. I can look up the kickers. Let's see. All right. Ronnie Bass. No, I know that's not Ronnie Bass. I was just thinking of Remember the Titans. Tyler Bass. Dickers. Huh. No, it's Dicker. I don't know why I put an S on it and Reichert. Okay. I'm going with Dicker against Tampa Bay. Dicker against Tampa Bay. But any of them should be somewhat decent, but Dicker's by a half a yard, let's say, Dylan. You're talking about defense. Washington at New Orleans. So am I to assume that you have Washington, Jets, and Falcons defense? Is that what I'm guessing here? I'll put those in. Washington. Commanders, Jets, and Falcons. The Falcons have a defense? Oh, just teasing. Yeah, I'd go Jets. I'd go Jets since they're playing Jacksonville. Jets and if you're talking about your defense, Washington, Jets, and Falcons, I would go Jets. All right. I'm missing a lot here. Dre's asked Bates or Fairbairn or Jets kicker. I'd go Fairbairn. He's been very solid all year. No Knicks or Winston this week, PPR league. What? No Knicks or Winston. Why not? Chief LTR, I'm not. Look, sometimes I get on these things and I'm answering questions and I get real literal, and I'm usually not very literal as a person in general. But you're saying no Knicks or Winston this week? Wait a minute. Are you saying? I'm not sure what you're saying. Okay, I don't have Winston on an injury report. So I'm looking at this. I'm off on this, guys. Somebody help me out here. What? I don't know what you mean, Chief LTR. I want to help you out, but I don't know what you mean. No Knicks or Winston this week. You can't play them? All right. He's asking which one. Okay. Thank you, Dre's. Dre's, you gotta subscribe, buddy. You're on all the time. Come on, subscribe. You DM me. You can ask me your questions. I'd love it. All right, Knicks or Winston? Okay, I got you. All right, Knicks or Winston? Let's go. I'm leaning towards Knicks, but that's a good matchup. Yeah, I'd go Knicks against Indianapolis. Yeah, I'd go Knicks. He's been fairly consistent the last few weeks. And now that he has Vele to throw to, outside of just Cortland Sutton, yeah, he's had 16, 28, 19.4, 14.16 against Cleveland. Not a great game. He threw 2 interceptions, but not bad. He's been consistent. I think that offense and that team is running a little bit better than Cleveland. I think the problem with Cleveland is, I'll be honest with you, I know Chubb is coming back from a serious knee injury. They don't have much of a run game. I mean, not that Cleveland or Denver sort of has like a 2 or 3-headed monster, but I think they do more well, and Nix has been playing a lot better. So yeah, I would stay with Nix on that one, and based on the matchup as well. All right. Got it. All right. Let's see. Sorry about that, Chief. Hey, Chief LTR. Thank you. PPR, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Jennings, Evans, Shakir, Connor, Tracy. I would definitely do Jennings. What did I say between Evans and Shakir? I would definitely do Jennings. I think I said Evans earlier. We had a similar kind of question. Yeah, I'd go Evans. Oh, yeah, Shakir plays Detroit. I would go Evans and Jennings, and then Connor and Tracy. It's going to be a matchup, and I know Tracy has Baltimore, and they're actually decent against the run. I'm going James Conner then. So my 2 picks are Jennings, Evans, and Tracy. Stick 'em 31. DK, JT, or Pollard at flex. Well, let's look it up. A lot of people were asking me about Jonathan Taylor last week. I don't think he had. What kind of week did he have? Yeah, he did pretty good. It's good to see, actually. Taylor, Metcalf. What did Metcalf have? Metcalf, not so much. As I sort of suspected, because JSN has been doing very well for them. Yeah, I'd go Tony Pollard. They go up against Cincinnati. You know you can run against Cincinnati. So, yeah, I would go Tony Pollard. Taylor goes up against Denver. Denver against the run. I don't think they're great. Let's see. But there's been so much movement in these rankings lately. Oh, come on, Denver. Oh, Denver's 5th against the run now. So, yeah, I'd go Pollard. All right, let's see what we got here. Please, let me do a quick reset, and then we'll get to it. If you see the QR code on the screen, the QR code is for a free fantasy basketball league that I'm getting together for Sideline fans. Again, it's free, doesn't cost you a dime. And if you win, you get a free golf balls by my Rhino 305 golf ball company. They are a 2-piece golf ball that helps you hit the ball straighter and longer. They're great for people starting out. They're great for people who play like on the weekends, for fun. Your casual golfers. They're great for juniors, kids that are starting to play, seniors who might not, hit it as far as they used to. These balls really go straight. They really go long. So you'll enjoy them a lot. And that's Rhino 305. If you want to visit the website, it's Rhino 305. And I'm not just signing up this fantasy league just to sell my golf balls, but I just wanted to throw that in there. Garrett Wilson or AJ Brown ask, oh boy, Chada. Can I just end with Chada? Arad H. Chada? I don't know where the break is. I'm just going to call you Chada because rum chata is delicious. I could drink that all night, and that's not a good thing. I would actually go with Garrett Wilson because AJ Brown has not been putting up good points, but let's just see. Let's look real quick. Brown, Chada, and we'll go Wilson. Looking up a lot of Garrett Wilson, man. People had him. Oh, they're saying AJ Brown against Pittsburgh. Yeah, I would go Garrett Wilson based on the matchup against Jacksonville. And AJ Brown has not been putting up a lot of points lately. See, I have some software that gives me what like the average expert says. AJ Brown has had 9.6 points the last 2 weeks. And then went up against Baltimore that you can throw on and Carolina who you can throw on. Well, Let me double check on Carolina. I'm pretty sure you can throw in Carolina. Yeah, no, well, Carolina's 9th. They're not easy. But the Ravens, they've gotten better. Oh, come on. Ravens are number 1 against wide receivers? What? What is going on here? When did this happen? Oh boy. I'm losing my mind. The Ravens in the last 4 weeks are the toughest against wide receivers? What am I missing? Hold on a second. I know I'm raising my voice, but yeah, I would go Garrett Wilson. Boy. Oh, Garrett Wilson. What am I thinking here? Yeah, Garrett Wilson plays Jacksonville. Why am I caring about the Ravens? I get something in my head. Okay, Pittsburgh, Steelers, and Jacksonville. Steelers are 14th. Jacksonville is 24th. So I would go with Garrett Wilson. He is a better matchup. Sorry, I don't know what I was saying about the Ravens. Offered this trade. Let me know what you think. JSN and Monty for Kyren. I think someone's trying to get JSN from you because I bet you Kyren and Monty aren't far apart in their numbers recently. I'm not saying one isn't better than the other. Everybody's, how can you say that guy, this guy? No, I picked the wrong Montgomery. Duh. Okay, David Montgomery and Kyren Williams. I just want to look up what number of points they've had over the last few weeks. And I'm just assuming everybody's online right now. Okay. So Kyren has had, we're just going to go 4 weeks. He's had 8, 11, 17, 22. So 19, 41, 58 for Kyren. 58 for Kyren, and Montgomery's had 23, 14. So that's 37, 50, 56 for Montgomery. See, what it is Montgomery's only 2 points less over the last 4 weeks than Kyren. And you're throwing in JSN. You're giving up too much for Kyren, Trislon. I wouldn't do that deal at all. Kyren's a good player, and earlier in the year he had 30s and stuff, but Montgomery's like a machine. He puts up almost 13 points at least, at least on average he does every single week. And JSN has been doing very well lately. So I think someone's just trying to slide one by you here because quite honestly, over the last 4 weeks, now it's 4 weeks, it's not 2 weeks, it's not last week, it's the last 4 weeks. There's only 2 points difference. And probably if I added the point whatever, it wouldn't even be, it wouldn't even be that. You look at someone like JSN the last 4 weeks, 16, 16, 9.9, which is 10, and 17. He's gotten over 13 3 of the last 4 weeks. JSN has quietly become the number 1 target for Seattle. And it's probably killing DK Metcalf, but it's just the way it is. Now, Tris, I would not do that deal at all. And I would tell, well, anyway, you can be very nice to the person and just decline, but I would tell them, hey, who do you think I am? But you don't have to. I'm just teasing with you. All right. Sam Darnold or Bo Nix or Justin Herbert to start playoff round. You got to go Sam Darnold, dude. He's playing like fire. I mean, seriously. Sam Darnold, let's just see. Now that no one has a bye, I can actually look things up now. Darnold plays Chicago. Chicago against quarterbacks. They're not very good. They give up 23.6 points. So even if he doesn't get to 23, Sam Darnold probably gets to at least 20. Bo Nix and Justin Herbert, I'm not. Well, I think the Chargers play Tampa, though. But here's the thing about Herbert. he doesn't get to the level that Darnold's been getting at. He's good at like the teens, the high teens. Well, he's questionable too. What's that? Herbert said he took a shot there and is in some pain. All right. He's at 13 rather, 7.9, 17, 24. He's just not putting the numbers up that Darnold is. Let me look at Darnold real quick. See, I'm doing it again, or I'm taking all this time. That's what I do. Hey, Gagan's here. What's up, dude? How are you? All right. Hey, my moderator's here. Thank you, Nathaniel. All right. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Sam Darnold. Darnold has had 34, 19.6, 21, 23. You got to go with Sam Darnold. He has the hot hand. He goes up against Chicago. They're not great against quarterbacks. He should have a great game. You got to go Darnold. Do I start Hurts against Pittsburgh or find a different QB? I don't think Hurts against Pittsburgh is going to be that bad. Hey, thank you, Hand Dog, for coming back and being part of my live. Do I start Hurts against Pittsburgh? Okay, is this your playoff, Black Dot? I'm assuming it is. Okay, so let's just Hurts. I mean, who are you going to get though? Like, if you don't have Hurts, who are you going to get to be your quarterback? That's the thing. Who's available? I know you say, "Oh, I can," or should I get somebody else? I don't think Hurts. What is not working here? There we go. My computer is lagging big time. He had 24 against Carolina. They're not great. He had 17 against Baltimore. Should have had more. 15 against the Rams. Should have had more. 18.7 against Washington. Should have had a little bit more. He had 29. He had 30 against Dallas and Jacksonville. Cincinnati, 35. He's kind of hit a little bit of a skid. He goes up against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh against quarterbacks gives up 21.6 points. So what I'm saying is there's a good chance he still gets 19 points. All right. There's a question over on YouTube. I'm going to jump on that. But I don't mind Hurts playing. The question is, who else do you get? Who else is available, Black Dot? I could get Purdy. Okay. Let's see. Maybe not a bad decision. Maybe not a bad option. Oh, they play Thursday against the Rams. Okay, let's see. Let me look up Purdy. Has he played them already? You talk about a team, though, that is in what I consider kind of disarray. It's San Francisco. He had 22. What really scares me is that 2 he had against Buffalo. But if you take that out of the equation, he really hasn't had bad weeks. Okay, like for instance, here's the last 4 games, not including Buffalo, and he was out for that game against Green Bay. He's had 22, 19, 23, 26. So Purdy's actually a good option right now if you're worried about Hurts, and he goes up against the Rams, and the Rams are very middling against quarterbacks if I can actually find where they are, because I'm like blind when I look at they're 31st against quarterbacks. So yeah, I would pick up Purdy and start him. You got to kind of do the smart thing. Hurts has not been putting up a lot of points. Okay, Hand Dog, start 2. T. Higgins, Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, Jordan Addison to start. Cincinnati goes up against Tennessee. Tennessee against wide receivers. The Titans. See, the Titans they're 15th. They give up 21.4. Cooper Kupp goes up against San Francisco. San Francisco against wide receivers is 8th. So it's a little tougher of a matchup. Mike Evans, they go up against, and it's the Chargers. The Chargers against wide receivers are not very good. They're 25th, and I'm starting 2. Right now, I'm thinking T. Higgins and Mike Evans. Let's see. Jordan Addison goes up against Chicago against wide receivers. Chicago is 19th. I would actually say Addison I would say Addison and Mike Evans. Or Addison, no, I take that back. What's Tennessee again? I should have wrote this down. It's too many things to remember. The Titans give up 21. Cooper Kupp against San Fran. They're a little bit tougher. It's a tougher matchup. I'm actually thinking Jordan Addison and either T. Higgins or Cooper Kupp, though. I'm going with name recognition, you know, and a little bit of, matchups. I'm just looking up Cooper Kupp, though, right now. He had 17 points against Buffalo. I don't know what was going on with New Orleans. Okay, let me do something real quick here. All right. Sorry about this, guys. I take a long time. I hate that I take a long time, but when you ask me a question, I want to really look in like what little time. Well, I take a lot of time, don't I? Evans and Addison. And I'm starting 2. Okay, I would do Cooper Kupp. I don't know, man. See, I would do Cooper Kupp and Addison, but experts are saying Cooper Kupp and Mike Evans because the Chargers are not very good against the pass. But my only fear with Evans is the fact that Jalen McMillan finally got a touchdown this weekend, and that might be the start of something. But let me just Cooper Kupp. Let me look up Evans real quick. Yeah, Evans 9.3, 21, 8.9. They go up against the Chargers, though. That's a much weaker unit. What were the Raiders? The Raiders were 27th. Wait. Oh, the Chargers are 25. I don't know, man. I don't know. Evans did not have a good game against a pretty bad Raiders pass defense. And now they have to play the Chargers in Los Angeles. I'm really thinking Jordan Addison and Cooper Kupp. I guess if you want to do safe, you can do Cooper Kupp and Mike Evans. If you want to take a risk, I would go Jordan Addison and Cooper Kupp based on the matchup. Chicago's not very good. I mean, they're 19th. Yeah, I think with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, they're going to crush the Bears. I would say it's riskier. If you don't want to take the risk, go Evans and Cooper Kupp. If you don't mind a risk, I would go Cooper Kupp and Jordan Addison. All right, start 3. Wilson, Neighbors, London, Higgins. I would do Higgins, Wilson. Neighbors in London have just not been putting up points, although I think Neighbors has been getting better. But they have a tough Neighbors plays the Giants. I mean, they play the Baltimore. Baltimore against wide receivers is number 1 now. So I wouldn't go with Neighbors. I would go Wilson, London, and Higgins, Lucas. All right. Let's see. If Brees R start Braylon over Jonathan Taylor. If Brees maybe doesn't start Braylon, what? If Brees starts, I would probably start Jonathan Taylor. Let me just see who they go up against. The Jets play Jacksonville. That's a good matchup. Jacksonville against the run. Let me just look this up. They're 29th, so it really favors Brees or whoever the Jets have at running back. But Indianapolis plays Denver. Denver against the run. They got to be better than they think. Where are they? Why can I not find them? This is so bizarre. Oh, they're number 5, so it's not as good of a matchup for Jonathan Taylor. I would go with whoever the Jets put out there, matchup-wise. All right, pick 3 says Abbas Mathani. Kupp, Garrett Wilson, Neighbors, London. Kupp, I would pick Kupp and Garrett Wilson. I guess London, although London and Neighbors have not been putting up good points. Points that you want from starters. I know that for a lot of people it's playoff time, so I'm trying to put that into my thought process too. Like what, like really, go dark here and see, yeah. I mean, Drake London had 9.5 points last week against Minnesota. He plays Las Vegas, and they're bad. I would go Kupp, Garrett Wilson, and Drake London. I just think the Giants could hit a buzzsaw with Baltimore because Baltimore's now number 1 in the last 4 weeks against wide receivers, which is nuts to think about because at one point they were dead last. So they've come all the way back. Sideline, what's going on, man? It is generic avatar guy. What's going on? Man, I missed you. All right. Start Andrews or Hockenson. Let's look it up. Andrews or Hockenson. Let's look it up. I like it. Nice and clean. Mark Andrews, and I think Hockenson has put up some good points over the last week. He's a little back and forth. I'm going Andrews, though, because it is against the Giants, and the Giants just, let's see. Giants are 18th against tight ends over the last 4 weeks. And Chicago is 26th. Well, you could go Hockenson based on the matchup. It's a better matchup for Hockenson. I mean, truthfully, well, I guess I got to look them both up. Jeez Louise. I really labor over this when I don't have to. But I do it for you guys. I really have a reason for doing it. It's just not random. I want to make the best decision in what little time I have and what little I know about your team as I possibly can. Okay, so Hockenson Hockenson has not been very consistent. Yeah, I'd go with Andrews. Andrews, 3 of the last 4 weeks, he's been over 13 points. He's putting up big numbers right now. I'd go Andrews. All right, let's see what we got. Do you know how much Giants tickets are? They are at $9 for nosebleeds. That's like nothing. You might as well be getting in for free at this point. Nathaniel, God, $9. Yeah, go Andrews. Hawk Tua, there you go. All right. Let's see. Any new question? What's going on? Do you have an Instagram or something could text you on there? Well, Hand Dog, you can DM me if you'd like on TikTok. You can DM me on TikTok. And I'll accept that. I am in okay, hold on. I got a question. This is from Wandier. Okay, hopefully you're still there. Okay. I am week 2. Wandier sent $1. Thank you, Wandier. All right. He's starting Rico Dottle over A.J. Brown. I would do that. A.J. Brown's not been putting up points. Rico Dottle is. And their matchup again is against Carolina. And Carolina against the run is they give up 20.1 points. So Wandier, I don't think that's a bad choice. Jaden Reed screwed me. Yeah, Jaden Reed screwed everybody. He screwed me too. Because I finally, after weeks of saying don't do anything with them, said do something with them. I have AJ Brown in my flex. JJ and Nico are my other wide receivers. Feel like I need some floor. Yeah, I would do Rico Dottle. Dude, do Rico Dottle over Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed screwed you. And the other thing, Wandier, to think about, okay? And this is the one thing I keep preaching about. I'm almost this way, although Jerry Jeudy keeps proving me wrong. But I'm almost this way with the Browns, Wandier. But here's the thing, all right? And thank you for your super chat. Yeah, that's what they call it on YouTube. You know, you can gift on YouTube as well. They have like gifts now. You have to buy them in bundles. But anyway, Rico Dottle should have a good game against Carolina. Like I said, Carolina is 25th. They give up 20.1 points over the last 4 weeks to running backs. So I would put Rico Dottle over Jayden Reed. And my big point here is Love and that whole offense involves everybody. They have Watson, they have Dobbs, they have Wicks, they have Reed, they have Kraft. They pass to like 4 or 5 guys on a regular basis. So no one guy really ever gets 20 points. You know, they might have a good week if they get 15, maybe they get a touchdown or two. So yeah, I would you're okay. Start Rico. Oh, starting. Okay, okay. I got you. Yeah, I would start Rico Dottle over AJ Brown. Yes, I would. I would sit AJ Brown over Rico Dottle. The other thing to think about is the fact that Pittsburgh against wide receivers, let's look that up. They're 14th. They're not great, but when you think Philadelphia, and that's who they play, right? Yeah. They give up 20.7 points to wide receivers, the Steelers do. And you figure they got Devontae, they got AJ, and 20.7, if you split it down the middle, that's 10 points. Rico Dottle probably, yeah, Jayden Reed is dead to you. I totally understand. I'd be the same way. Actually, well, I'm not going to get into it. I dumped him many weeks ago, and then he was coming back, and I'm like, oh, should I pick him up? And then he disappointed a lot of people. Like I said, I was actually recommending him to other people. Anyway, so I would say that I'm in this fantasy league. Which person are you talking about? I would say that AJ Brown has a pretty tough matchup as well. And let me just look up his points real quick. I keep hitting my laptop here on YouTube, but let me just look it up, Wandier. I mean, he's had 6, 9, 19, 9. Pittsburgh, Washington. Let's just see what's Washington. Yeah, Washington's tied for 9th. Pittsburgh's 14th. And against Washington, come on. Against Washington, he only had 9 points, AJ Brown. I'm just looking for similar defenses. Yeah, I would go with Rico Dottle. It's a good matchup for him. Yeah. The Panthers are very weak against running backs. Like I said, in the last 4 weeks, when it comes to fantasy, the Panthers are 25th. They give up 20.1 points on average over the last 4 weeks to running backs. 20.1. So, yeah, I know it does feel weird, doesn't it? AJ Brown is like pretty much an elite type of wide receiver, but we're saying start this guy who plays for Dallas, and Dallas probably isn't going to make the playoffs, and Philadelphia is. So, yeah, no, I agree. It sounds very weird. It goes against everything I'm thinking right now, but it's one of those things. Yeah, Wandier, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you know when I go live. I'm going to go live on YouTube and Twitch like I do every day on TikTok. This is simulcast. I have to use my phone on TikTok. I have to use YouTube, or I use StreamYard for Twitch and for YouTube, but I do it every day. Now's a good time for me to actually do a little reset here. If you look at the QR code that's on your screen, and hopefully it's working on TikTok because I use my phone on TikTok, but we have a free fantasy basketball league that will be starting probably in about, well, the draft is actually this Sunday at 5 Central, 6 Eastern, which there should still be a game going on, which maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it is this Sunday. And if you don't want to be part of the live draft, it's super simple. All you have to do is just set your team or set your draft pick list in the order that you want, and the computer will draft them for you. That's all. So it's super simple to do. So that's how I would be looking at that. And it's this Sunday. It doesn't cost anything. It's free, 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 free. And you can win a dozen Rhino 305 golf balls. You can get those also at rhino305.com. You can find them on Amazon or walmart.com. They are great golf balls for people starting out, for the weekend warriors, casual golfers, seniors, ladies, juniors. They're a two-piece golf ball that helps you hit the ball straight and long. And actually, Ron 3835 has used the balls. I don't know if you ever sent me a video, though, Nathaniel, but Ron, well, it says Ron 3835, but it's really Nathaniel. I don't know if you've ever actually given me that video, but he can attest that the balls do hit things straight and hit them long. So they're great to have. All right. All right. So yeah, so your brother's gonna have other gifts for me. Great. He's gonna rip me a new one. Start Tracy asks, okay, generic avatar. Start Tracy Ignacio S20. I don't know who else you have. I would say that Tracy's a decent start. The problem though is Baltimore. What is Baltimore against the run? They're very good against the pass now. They're 12th. They give up 15.8. And you got to figure Tracy's going to get the bulk of that. I think Tracy might not get to 13, but he'll probably get to 11. So I think between 11 to 14 is good, and you can start him. Generic avatar, my buddy. I wish he had a name. It'd be easier to talk to you, but that's fine. I'm not asking you to have a name. I'm always worried that it's you or it's not you. Okay, pick 3: Wilson, AJ, Collins, T, Judy. Okay, well, I would go Collins. Definitely Nico Collins. I mean, he's an elite. T. Higgins goes up against Tennessee. What did T. Higgins get last game? I haven't looked him up. He only got 3 points against Dallas, though. It's because Ja'Marr Chase got all of them. All right. I would go Judy because I would go Judy and Collins. Hold on. Nathaniel, you pinned one. I'm not on. I'm on generic avatar guy that has the blue 15 by. Hey, Sick Ass is here. Another one of my buddies. All right. I got generic avatar. I got Sick Ass. Awesome. Sick, you will be next, my friend. All right. Let me think. Nico Collins. I would go Jerry Judy. And then Wilson goes up against. Oh, Jacksonville. Based on the matchup, I would go Wilson, Collins, and Judy. And you can throw against Kansas City. Yeah. That's who I would go against. All right. What is Sick Ass telling me? He's up. Just got number. Okay. Nix, Herbert, or Russell? Ooh, okay. That's a good one. Let me kind of leaning towards Nix. Nix. I get a lot of Nix and Herbert comparisons. Russell. Russell goes up against Philadelphia. That's going to be a tough matchup for him. So I'm going to rule him out. Justin goes up against Tampa Bay. That's probably a good matchup for him. And Nix goes up against Indianapolis. So it's going to be between those two guys because of the Indy Tampa Bay split. Let's see. The Colts and the Buccaneers against quarterbacks. Let me look that up real quick. The Colts are actually tough against the Buccaneers. Wow. The Colts give up 17.7 points to quarterbacks, and the Buccaneers give up 18.9. Wow. So I'm going to go based on just that little bit of a matchup. I would go Bo Nix because he. Oh no! Look, he plays the Colts. Herbert plays Tampa Bay. But Herbert has just not been playing very well. He's not put up a lot of points. I mean, Nix is at least, you know, God, 19 points 2 weeks ago, 28 before that. I would go Nix on that one, sick as. I would go Nix. Herbert just has not been putting up. Here, let me look them up in another system here because that one system, the points are all weird. No. I want Nix and Herbert for the third time. Come on. Nix and Herbert. Let's see. Sick ass. Come on. Justin Herbert. Boom, boom, boom. Now he does have a leg issue. Herbert does have a leg issue. What does it say? Took a shot there, but doesn't appear as though he expects to still be dealing with it. Okay. Yeah, but see, here's the thing with Herbert. The last 3 weeks, 17, 7.9, 13.72. Not good numbers. Last 3 games for Knicks, 28, 19, 14. The 19 I like, 19 or over is what I'm always saying in a 10-team league, and 28's fantastic. I got to go with Bo Nix. I'm going with Bo Nix on that one. Sick ass, you got to go with Bo Nix. All right. Select 3 as Dot. Select 3: McLaurin, Tracy, Evans, Addison, Higgins, Pacheco, McConkey, Bucky. Are you serious? You're giving me just a ton of names. You got to narrow that down for me. You got to narrow that down. You have to. Even when he pins it, I don't get everybody. I mean, they're all decent, but you got to narrow that down just a. Bucky might be hurt. McConkey might be hurt. Pacheco doesn't put up enough points. I would go McLaurin, Tracy, and Addison. You could go McLaurin, Tracy, or Evans. You could maybe go Higgins, McLaurin, Addison. If McConkey plays, there's no reason not to put him in there. They're going up against Tampa Bay, but I would have to know what his injury is. You could go McLaurin, McConkey, and Addison. McLaurin, McConkey, and Tracy. You got to narrow that down, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're giving me 8 names. You got to give me like 5. I can't go through 8 names right now. There's no way. And I go through everybody individually. All right. Thank you, Nathaniel. They are all inconsistent, so there isn't much narrowing I can do. They're not all inconsistent. I mean, Bucky was injured. That's why he didn't have a good game. Who else is on that list? McLaurin isn't. I mean, he had one bad game, but McLaurin is very consistent. Addison's gotten better, and McConkey actually has been way more consistent than usual. Higgins laid an egg the last game. Bucky got hurt. Tracy's been relatively consistent. I mean, you look at their last 4 weeks and who's gotten over 13 points in the last 4 weeks, and how many times have they done it? If they've done it three or more times, they're relatively consistent. If they can get over 13 points 3 out of the last 4 weeks, they're pretty consistent. And I think McLaurin's actually done that. When I say weeks, I mean games. Would you start Jordan Addison or Tyrone Tracy going in flex spot? Let's see. Tyrone Tracy or Addison, wide receivers against the Bears. They're 19th. They give up 24.4. You figure Jefferson and Addison. I mean, they're not awful, but that's a pretty good matchup for Addison. I do think he's going to have tons of confidence. However, I would say that Tracy's sort of your steady. I think Tracy ends up getting, let's see, against running backs, the Ravens are 12th. I think Tracy gives you about 11 points, 11 to 14 points. I think Addison probably gives you somewhere between 12 to 16 points. Or actually, Addison, let's just say this Addison's floor is probably like 6 or 7 points and all the way up to like 18 points. He has a bigger range, he has a bigger upside. His ceiling is higher than Tracy. Tracy's your conservative pick, 11 to 14, probably more like 11 to 13, 10 to 13 is what Tracy gives you. Addison gives you anywhere from, like I said, 6 to 18. So what do you feel like? Do you want to sort of pencil in that 11 points with Tracy, which is average for a 10-team league? That's average. 13 gets you over the hump. That's above average. But then with Addison, he can go really high, but he could also just get you 6 points, which is well below, because you want wide receivers and running backs at about 13 or more points. So that's how I would look at it. I would look at it as Tracy is your steady, but he might be a little average or in the middle there at 11 points. And Addison has a higher upside. So that's how I would look at that. All right. All right, everybody. Jennings or Sutton? Ask Casey. I know Casey's been around. Well, let's look it up. I'm sure they're going to go with Sutton. It's not a bad matchup for Denver going against Indy. Indy against wide receivers. Well, they're actually number 2. What is going on here? Indy's number 2. The Giants are Tampa Bay is number 4 against wide receivers the last 4 weeks. The world is upside down and sideways. But let's just see. Jennings and Sutton. Yeah, I go Courtland Sutton based on. I think he's kind of becoming a more elite kind of wide receiver. And Jennings, he puts up good weeks, but I don't feel like it's confirmed that he's the leader or the number 1 wide receiver or that he gets the bulk of the targets, kind of, like it's still sort of up in the air with Courtland Sutton, and the fact that they have Vele, as a number 2, I think is the emergence of Vele has even helped Sutton even more. So I would go with Courtland Sutton. Can I join? I have some questions. Hold on one second. Okay. Let's see. How do I do this again, Kyle? All right. You got to keep it clean, Kyle. All right. What do you got? Kyle? Kyle? Wait, what happened? Kyle? I'm going to cancel the invitation now. Come on. You asked to join. I think you've joined before. All right. Kyle, I tried. Guerendo, Pacheco, or Brian Robinson? I would go Brian Robinson. Here's the thing. Guerendo probably isn't going to play on Thursday night because he has a foot sprain. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to play. Pacheco, look, I've been saying this for 2 weeks. What I've heard is that they're going to bring Pacheco along relatively slowly, keep him as healthy as he possibly can for the playoffs, and they're doing that. He only had 7 points. Hunt was still in the game almost as much as Pacheco. They almost play Pacheco and Hunt like Montgomery and Gibbs in Detroit, where it's one back is in for that, play with, for that possession of the ball, and then the other one, when they get the ball back, the other one comes in. It's almost like that. So I would go Brian Robinson. He's going to get full. I think they're bringing along Pacheco real slowly, and that's what worries me about him. Tracy Garendo are Neighbors this week. Again, Garendo probably doesn't play. Neighbors isn't putting up points. I would go with Tracy. Tracy probably gets you at least 11 points. It's not a great number, but it's a number you can live with. It can keep you competitive. I don't know that Neighbors and that offense can get you, they might get you under 11 points. And that's what worries me about Neighbors. All right. Well, let's see. Don't forget, everybody, hit that like button. Hit that like button, hit that follow button. I go live every single day. I'll be live on YouTube. I'll be live on Twitch. I'll be live on TikTok tomorrow night. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a great night. I will talk to you all later. Oh, I got to sign off on my YouTube. Boy, my YouTube stream is